get started.
All right, hey friends, it's Heather here, your virtual fitness trainer and partner. All right, today we're going to be working on some glutes. So we're going to start standing and we're going to end up on our mat. The only space that you'll need today is that of your mat, and that's it. Okay, we will be doing one move where if you want to be close to a wall for stability or balance, feel free to do that or to grab a chair. In the meantime, let's start a nice quick warm up here, stepping back and forth on your mat. You can do this workout barefoot. You can choose to have shoes on. Up to you. We're going to focus on glutes today, starting standing and moving down to our mat. So, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth here. Yeah. And just start to think about tightening up your core and taking nice wide steps here, one side to the other. Keeping your core tight throughout the workout. I should never need to remind you, and yet still I do, and I will. Tap that toe behind you, keeping your hips forward. So instead of twisting out to the side, we're going to keep those hips forward, waking up through the hips. Good, just stepping back and forth. Let's see if we can get some arms going. Cross arms, one over the other. You can alternate directions here as we move. Good, in through the nose. Great. All right, let's come back to a march here, and I want you to start lifting your knees a little bit higher. So higher and pause at the top, lifting core tight, lower transverse abdominis, your lower abs, nice and tight here, lifting, and let's start to come on an angle here. Lifting out. Good. Hands can be on hips, or they can be overhead, or you can be jumping jack arms. Here you go, up to you. However you want them to be, holding overhead is fine too. Keep that core engaged as we lift high, out to the side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Nice deep inhale here. Get those legs out nice and wide. Toes to the corner of the room, and let's sink down. So allow your tailbone to be pulled down. Knees are tracking over your toes here. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and come on up. Inhale, let's come down again. You can press your palms together, holding. Good, a little bit longer this time. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift, squeezing the glutes as you come up. Let's come down one more time for 10, 9, 8, get lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze the glutes to come up. Good. We're going to start with a leg lift. Grab a sip of water if you need it. So focusing again on our glutes today. So if you want, you can have your hands on the wall, or you can have hands on hips. You can have a chair in front of you for balance if you like. So what I want you to do is take your feet about hip distance apart and start by taking your right foot back and tapping your toe on the ground. Shoulders up, space between your earlobes and your shoulders. And if you are not holding on to anything, hands on hips, and we're going to start just to lift our glutes slightly. Squeeze the glute and lift, okay? Not too much of a lift here. You'll start to feel a pinch in your lower back if you're doing that. You can also lean over a little bit if you like. Hold on to a wall or a chair for some balance, or arms can be out front. Okay, continuing to lift. Here, arms can be out front for balance. And lifting through the glutes. So squeezing the glutes, your buttocks. Good, every time just tapping down. A few more here. 3, 2, 1, and bring that foot down, and let's come onto the other side. And lifting with our left leg this time. Left leg comes back, squeeze the core, squeeze the glutes, and lifting here. Again, if you want a smaller lift, you can be standing up a little taller. Tiny lift if you want to come a little bit bigger. Leaning over here. Neck in line with spine. Why? Safety of your neck and spine, but also keeping a clear path for oxygen to move through your body as you move through this workout. lifting. A few more here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, let's come down into a squat. So we're going to start with a closer leg squat. So feet about hip distance apart. And tucking in that belly button. From the side, here's how I teach my squat. Common mistakes, we come down into a squat and you bring your knees forward, knees over toes. No thank you. Here's where I want you to start your squat. Pretend somebody's coming towards you and pushing you in the belly button, and your glutes come back and down. Your knees are automatically going to bend, okay? You're not actually having to think about bending your knees because you're bending through, pushing belly button back, and coming down into your squat. All right, join me here. Bringing arms out in front, offsetting the weight into our nice low squat. How low can you go? Squeezing those glutes on the way up. Good. Here's a tip, if you look down and you can't see your toes, adjust your stance so that your knees are coming behind your toes. A few more here. Neck in line with spine so you're not looking up. Good. And 3, 2, and 1. Last one here. Squeeze to come up. Excellent. All right, we're going to come into our bear walkout. Now, our bear pose is here. You're on all fours, and you're squeezing glutes, squeezing core, and our knees are just lifted off the ground, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start in a little bit of a squat. So join me here, a little bit of a squat here. Arms are up. We're going to take our hands down to the mat. Join me here. Walk halfway out your mat. Drop your knees, but don't touch your mat. Hold. 3, 2, 1. And walking back, coming up into that awkward squat. In yoga, it's called an awkward chair. Come on down, halfway out your mat, holding your bear. 3, 2, 1. Good. And walking back up, awkward chair, knees behind toes. And again, walking out, halfway, hold. 3, 2, and 1. And lifting back up, awkward chair. Last one here. Good. Walking up halfway. 3, 2, 1. Good. And walking up, awkward chair. Come to standing. Beautiful. All right. Join me on your mat. However you want to get down onto the floor, you can join me here. We're going to come into a bridge pose, and then we're going to do some rainbow taps for our glutes today. So rolling down nice and slow. And here on the mat, I want you to think about grounding your feet. Hands can be on your belly, they can be out to the side, they can be up above you, up to you where you have them. But I want you to focus on pelvis. So tilt that pelvis up, forward, as if you're trying to lift your tailbone up, off the ground. Squeeze those glutes, bringing your heels a little bit closer to your glutes here, and squeeze glutes and come up. Here we're in bridge pose. If you'd like a little bit of it extra, raise those arms up, and let's come down, not touching the ground fully, and push up. Good. Keep those toes grounded. If you're bare feet, this is great. You can actually feel your toes curling into the ground, squeezing those glutes. Core is still engaged. Okay, the core never needs an invite to the party. It has a standing invite. Okay, good. Squeeze, lift, and lift every time you lift. If you've got a weight at home and this is a move that is a bit easier for you, think about placing a weight just on your hip bones here and squeezing up, holding the weight. A little bit extra there. Push on the way up. Last 3, 2, 1 more here, and 1. Good. Keep those glutes, holding them up at the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down to the mat. Arms down. Hug those knees into your chest and roll up. And we're gonna come into our rainbow taps. These are one of my favorite moves. I always feel them the next day. So coming into hands and knees, we're tabletop position here, minding that your wrists are stacked under your shoulders, knees are stacked under your hips. If you're in or out, I want you to adjust, okay? So here's what we're gonna do in rainbow tap. Take your right leg and bring it behind you. Squeeze your glute and take the leg out to the right. So we're gonna lift the right leg up and over and tap on the outside of the left leg and then bring it back. That's one full move. Join me here if you haven't already. Rainbow tap. So pretend you've got a chair with your favorite beverage behind you and you're trying to lift up and over. You're squeezing that glute. Hamstrings are helping out. Bring your shoulders away from your ears, neck in line with spine. Can you feel your core compensating for the move? You should be able to. You will likely feel this tomorrow. A few more here. And 3, tap. 2, one more here. And last one, bring it back over. Good, leg comes behind, comes back in. Join me in child's pose. Take your knees wide to the mat. Walk your fingers forward and let your belly hang here, forehead to mat. Inhale and exhale, release. Good. Come on back up. We're gonna do the other side now. In our rainbow tap, I will switch directions for you. If you're watching, or if you're just playing along at home, in your own little world there, it's all good too. Onto all fours here in our tabletop position, left leg comes back out to the side and lifting up and over here. Good. Remember keeping your neck in line with spine. Really key here, and we're not turning out our body, okay? We're not coming off balance. We're keeping our hips square to the ground, and we're making our abs work here, compensating for the shift in weight. Good. Glutes doing the majority of the work here. Your core is nice and stable and strong. Shoulders away from ears. A few more here. 3 and 2. And last one here. Lift and tap. Bring your leg back behind you and bring it in to settle. Good. Just gonna check our time here. We are at the end of our 15-minute session today, which was for our glutes. Did you like it? I love that one. You can go ahead and do that one more time if you like. So if you wanted to build a bit more strength in your glutes, go back and do that set one more time, and then you can pop into a stretch, completely up to you. So here's how I want to finish the class today. We're gonna just do a couple little stretches, and I want you to take your legs out in front of you, nice and long. I'll come to the side so you can watch how I'm doing it. Toes turned up, getting a bit of dark. The light is not in my favor right now, so I want to make sure that you can still see what I'm doing. Here we go. Good. All right, legs stretched out. There we go. In front of you, toes facing up. Let's reach up to the ceiling. Inhale and fold over. Maybe you can reach knees, maybe you can reach shins, maybe you can reach your toes. Completely up to you. Let's hold here. Let go any tension in your legs, shoulders. Good. Wherever's comfortable for you, if you need to adjust, that's okay too. Just giving a little stretch here. Toes pointed up, and then let's just run our fingers back up our legs. Let's inhale here one more time. Inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to twist. So bringing one arm behind you, other arm on the front knee, and twist. So neck facing away from the twist here. Neck is nice and long. Good. And inhale, come back to center. Inhale up. And as you exhale, come to the other side. Good. Facing away from your twist. Elongating, think about your top of your head coming up to the ceiling. Deep breaths here. Beautifully done. And inhale, come back to center. Let's finish up here. Taking your knees nice and wide to your mat. Walk your fingers forward. Again, we're in a wide-legged child's pose, coming down to the floor. And just dropping your forehead to the mat. Letting your belly hang. Feeling the opening in your inner thighs, hips. Beautiful. Inhale, take your hands, walk them back to center. Let's bring our knees together and let's finish here with setting an intention to really focus on our intentional movement. And we do a lot of things during the day. I can think about in my day, when I'm walking with the kids, or maybe I'm going back and forth in the house, up and down stairs. Those aren't intentional movements. I didn't go, okay, now I'm going to do some stairs. What we did today is intentional movement. I made the time for it. I made the space for it. I cleared my mind. My kids know I'm unavailable during this time, and I want the same for you. So to create that intentional movement, maybe you are going kayaking or hiking or boating, something that requires an intention. I want you to set that and know that whenever you do that, you're increasing blood flow all over your body. It's great for your mental health. And I think really that's one thing that we really overlook a lot. A lot of people do workouts just for the looking good part. And what we can really just focus on is what it's doing for our mental health. So join me here, fingers to the ground, closing your eyes. Inhale. Fingertips touch overhead. Exhale, bring them back down, touching the ground, grounding. Inhale. Fingertips touch overhead one more time. Exhale, down, fingertips touch the ground. And inhale. Palms come to touch fully, bringing fingers and thumbs together. Hands to heart center. You can bow your head, honoring yourself. Look at the time that you made for yourself today. This is your choice. This is your priority. This was an intention. Come back and join us whenever you can and share what you love about your movement. And we will see you soon in the next class. Bye for now.